Shalom and good morning. Today's passage is Revelation chapter 2 verse 18 to 29. Today we come to the fourth church, the church in Thyatira. Jesus introduced himself as the Son of God, whose eyes are like a flame of fire and whose feet are like burnished bronze. The eyes of like a flame of fire represent the Lord's omniscience, that Jesus sees through to the deepest places of the church and the hearts of believers. The feet like a burnished bronze symbolize his unshakable from judgment. Here Jesus calls himself the Son of God, and Revelation chapter 2 verse 18 is the only verse in the entire book of Revelation where he reveals himself explicitly as the Son. At the time, the people of Thyatira referred to Apollo, their guardian's deity, as the Son of God. But in verse 28, Jesus declares God to be my Father, proclaiming that he, not Apollo, is the one and only true Son of God. Jesus begins by commanding the church of Thyatira, I know your works, your love, your service, and your perseverance, and that your latter works exceed the first. In some ways, it seems Jesus is saying that Thyatira surpasses Ephesus. However, in verse 20, Jesus follows with a rebuke. Despite their growing love, faith, service, and deeds, he says there is something he holds against them. That is, they tolerate Jezebel. Now, Jezebel here does not refer to a little woman named Jezebel, but symbolizes a force of evil and spiritual adultery. In Thyatira, guilds, trade unions existed, and without belonging to the guild, survival was nearly impossible. Jesus calls the compromise of bowing down in the guild and then worshiping in church as spiritual adultery, calling it committing immorality with Jezebel and eating food sacrificed to idols. There is no compromise when it comes to believing in Jesus. God will judge according to what each has done. Dear brothers and sisters, I bless you in the name of the Lord to stand fully before Jesus, who searches minds and hearts. Jesus then speaks to those who do Thyatira, who have now followed Jezebel's teachings, those who do not know the so-called deep things of Satan. Satan is a spirit, and we live in the flesh. Therefore, whether it is a good or evil spirit, we in our flesh cannot fully understand or overcome it on our own. Yet there are still those who remain faithful and unshaken, not giving into false teachings. And Jesus speaks not only to Thyatira, but also to our Doham church, and to every church across the world today. You cannot know the depths of Satan. Therefore, I will not lay on you any other burden. Only keep yourselves from sexual immorality. What are we tolerating or compromising in 2025? Jesus is watching us with eyes like a flame of fire. I bless our Doham church to be a church that stays far from immorality, does not compromise, and lives out the word of Jesus in action. To the one who overcomes in this spiritual battle, to the one who follows Jesus to the end and is victorious, I bless you to receive authority over the nations and bright morning star as promised by the Lord. Amen.